Meanwhile, outside the port's entrance, the biggest bulk carrier in the world still battles to squeeze her mega-depth through the front door. The Berger Stahl is heading in, and the port is ready for her. The channel entrance has been dredged to the required 24 meters, a mere 1 meter deeper than the Stahl's gargantuan hull. Additional GPS units are placed to back up the ship's course. Almost 10 years of ship navigation are under these pilots' belts before they're worthy of bringing home a megaship this massive. Precise movements are paramount, because ships this size are in a whole other category of steering.
Still 450 meters.
Cut the engine, and the Stahl would take 10 kilometers to come to a full stop. Misjudge your angle, it takes almost a half hour to turn her around. And in the channel's tight quarters, that's not an option. If she runs aground, it's like a cork in a bottle. Port traffic screeches to a halt. So the port calls in a little backup. Times 4. Where the Mega Wide needed the tug's help with her turn, the Mega Deep really needs their help to slow down. But the fight doesn't seem fair. The Stahl is more than 800 times the weight of these tugs. They might be small, but they're feisty. The pilot choreographs his colossal ballet. The first tug moves in. No single man could ever hoist the Stahl's lines. Hand over hand, hundreds of pounds go over the side. Even with the help of the Stahl's winches, it takes the muscle of more than 10 men to connect all 4 tugs. One tug in front to keep the course, 2 on each side to keep her straight, and probably the most important, 1 tug at the back to slow this beast down. It all needs to move as one organism, so constant communication is critical. The tugs strain together and slowly begin to pull the Stahl towards the shallow waters of the port's entrance. Now, they just need a little help from the tide. This ship is so big, it can only enter and leave the port at the highest tide. So timing is critical. At the tide's peak, the Stahl's pilot has only a 10-minute window to make the move into the channel. Miss it, and he's got a 12-hour wait. It's time. Rotterdam just hit high tide. And the Stahl's slow, white-knuckle push begins. They have 10 minutes to make the port's entrance. Transponders on the belly of the hull signal the increasing squeeze via echolocation. UKC, or under-keel clearance, begins to plummet. The channel's width narrows to the point of no return. It would be incredibly difficult to turn the boat around now. But the pilot's focus is not on the Stahl's massive size. He needs to worry about the lack of water under her hull.
It is calculated so that it will not come closer than 1 meter from the bottom. And now we have about 3.5 meters.
As they near the port entrance, the UKC drops from 5 meters to 3 to almost 0. Less than a meter of water lies between the Stahl and a colossal collision. The Stahl is moving precariously close to running aground, and high tide's peak is almost over. Nearby, the mighty Servant 3 is just about to start her own white-knuckle maneuver, pulling off this hunk of steel without ship and rig going down. In Rotterdam's deepest waterhole, the mighty Servant 3's captain surveys the situation. For the last 24 hours, his ship has taken on close to 7,000 gallons of water and sank 22 meters under her new water weight. High above the mighty's submerged decks, her big rig bobs like a top on the surface. Despite its 6,000 tons, the rig floats beautifully between the mighty's bow and stern, due to the air trapped in her mammoth steel platform. The mighty is ready to offload, but pulling this mega tall baby off her decks is going to be a tricky move. The ship and its cargo are at their most vulnerable, because nothing connects rig to ship except 4 thin winch wires. 2 coming off the aft buoyancy casings, and 2 from either side of her bow. Only essential personnel remain on the rig for the most dangerous part of the maneuver. To best pull the rig off, the tugs strategically tie their lines to the rig's right side and wait for the signal. The winch wires are released. The tugs get the go. And the big slide begins. The tug's expertise is critical. If they crash the rig into the vessel's exposed bow and stern, the damage could destroy and even sink the ship. It's happened before. The rig is a quarter way off the mighty's deck. But its boxy design is pushing these tugs to the limit. Their engines respond with even more power. The weight of the rig puts a whopping 1,500 tons of responsibility on each tug's hefty steel cables. The rig is halfway off. The captain keeps a constant vigil on the balance of his submerged deck. If she starts to list too much, he'll shut the maneuver down. If the rig tips too far, it could also become a very dangerous situation for the ship and crew. But the mighty stability remains solid. The rig has only 6 meters left. Then, after one final tug heave, the rig is freed and floats away beautifully. The mighty's mission is fulfilled. Over the next 2 weeks, tugs will slowly haul the rig to her final destination, an offshore oil rig platform in the Baltic